Hi, good afternoon. Today is October 29th, 2019, approximately 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. New York pit just closed. My name is Olawale Okabola. I'm here to bring you the prep report for tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. This should be a very easy peasy prep report. Tomorrow is the Fed at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The announcement comes out. Usually with the Fed, everything's off the table. So with that said, we can go through a quick review and then kind of look for possible, we'll look for some references to pay attention to going into tomorrow. But again, these references probably will be meaningless if the Fed brings in some news that no one is prepared for or the market reacts in whatever way it wants to react. So I just leave you with that caveat. All right, we are on the monthly excess still holding. We want to pay attention to this going into the end of the month. Uh, that's really it. We're still outside of this 3 month balance area. Okay, so still broke out. So far, there's still acceptance on the monthly outside of that 3 month balance area and a 2 month balance area. To the weekly, we're still holding above this former 13-week balance area. We are one time framing higher. We have yet to fill the gap. I talked about it on yesterday's report, which will be the prep report for the 29th. Please refer to that and where I had a discussion on the importance of holding the gap for this week. Not going to get into that again today, but it's important we hold this gap for this week. Hold the gap. If we do, then that shows that there's probably more continuation. Odds favor more continuation up. We fill the gap. The market isn't as bullish as price will lead you to believe. No balance on the weekly. On the daily, got excess, got excess. We're in the 2 day balance area. This day closed within that day. You want to pay attention to the 2 day half back. We are, I don't think we one time framing anymore. 33 quarter. Yeah, we're not one time framing anymore. Higher on the daily, but we're in a balance. Let's go to the profiles. Today is an ugly balance day. Still balance. The balance is very ugly. Hold on 1 second. I'll get you the volume. Not like the volume really matters on a day like today, but it's good to know, I guess. So I'm waiting for the volume to come up. All right, I'm showing 3.6. I'm rounding up 3.6 billion New York Stock Exchange volume for today. But given the fact that it's more or less an ugly balance, yesterday was more of a symmetrical balance. Today is more of an ugly balance. Not much excess on the low, not much excess on the high. We're eight wide up here. We're eight wide down there. We're eight wide in the middle. Everyone knows what happened today. You should have. We traded higher. We traded lower. We traded higher. Made a new all-time high. This is the former all-time high. Made a new all-time high in C period, and that was it. Market traded off, traded up. You see the action back and forth. Nothing really going on. Nothing to write home about. I'm not talking about anything you can't see for yourself. The market test, the gap, the original gap entry, no acceptance, traded higher. Another test, another test. There's some weak references above the market and some weak references below the market as well. For example, this in period low bought off the open. E period low bought off the open. That makes it low weak, like a weak low too. Okay, we closed above. Also, um, we got a weak low here at M period. One tick from yesterday's low. That's weak. F period. One tick from yesterday's low. That's weak as well. That's like a weak low too as well. And this low from A period was the prior all-time high, We made a new all-time high yesterday, but before making that new all-time high yesterday, right here at 32, 32 quarter, that was the all-time high that lasted a while. A came all the way down there, and they bought off there. So we got some weak references to the downside. We also got some weak references to the upside. Let me see if I can spot them real quick for you. I think I period, they sold from the high. Yesterday's high, I period's weak. And they sold from the half back from yesterday as well. L period's weak. And this is the overnight structure. K period sold right there. Remember all those stops that got taken out in C period from the overnight? Well, now in K period, they try to reestablish that level. So what do you think is going to accumulate here? More stops. So what am I saying going into tomorrow? Your best guess is mine. I am going to chill out until the Fed makes an announcement, see what sets up prior to the announcement to see if I'm interested in taking any trade. We can go one of two ways. We can go higher, create a new all-time high, or we can go lower. And the attempt is to fill the gap. Fill the gap. This is the gap fill. We fill the gap. There's still some stops here from the overnight that they're still holding the bag. They are holding the bag. Got an overnight gap fill from here. So we can possibly fill the gap, take out these stops, close this here, and begin to challenge last week's settle. For anything really significant on a time frame higher than the day time frame, we will find acceptance below last week's settle. That means, using logic, we are down relatively to the close, relative to the close of last week. All right. Anything significant to the upside, greater than the day time frame, we are right now we're still holding above the current open for this week, meaning that we are up for the week, not by much, but we are up for the week. Anything more serious to the upside, we'll make a new all-time high and hold above this all-time high. I think that will show some positive momentum to the upside. Uh, Number one reference to focus on coming into tomorrow, 2 day half back. You want to know where does value develop in regards to the 2 day half back. Remember yesterday's report, I talked about where does value develop in relative to the half back from yesterday. Here's the half back from yesterday. Here's value. Value is overlapping on both sides. So if you got chopped up today or you're in a trade, you thought it was good and you ended up taking a loss, or if you got a good trade today, good for you. But do not get mad at yourself if your trades didn't work out, because value was overlapping both sides of that reference, and this was an important reference and referred to yesterday's report, the 29th, as to why I felt that it was important to use that as a gauge to see where are we trading. Now, going into tomorrow, you want to focus on the 2 day halfback. Where does value develop in relation to the 2 day halfback? That should help set you up to get you on the right side of the market. But given the fact that it's Fed day, all bets are off the table. All right, folks, that's all I got for you. Easy peasy report. This is Olawale Okabola, Spartacus Trade Corporation, wishing you a good day.